So thank you guys for checking out this vlog. This was an incredible experience. It was my first show, and so I'm back here. It was about a week ago, and I just feel like I've grown so much since the experience. I'm so glad that I went ahead and decided to compete. Really challenged myself mentally, physically, like just going through the process. It pushed me to another level. You know, when you're competing, you kind of find ways to get stuff done. So I'm already kind of geared up for future shows. I want to get a lot bigger, a lot stronger, a lot more athletic, and I'm leaving a lot hungrier. So I'm excited to continue to show you guys the rest of my journey, and hope you enjoyed this video.
Who was your inspiration?
I think my inspiration for doing this was initially Christian Guzman. Love his summer shredding videos, and met him earlier this year in January, and he's been competing for a long time, and he exposed me to it, and I just started following a lot of other people on Instagram, and I feel like most of the people that I did follow did compete, so it was just, they were doing it, and I felt like I could. I wanted to see myself up there, and I wanted to chase my best. So
awesome. Hey Malcolm, what was your diet like?
So my diet, I would say I started the year at about 220 pounds, and I got to about 185 for my show, and I was doing a keto diet for most of the year, and then eating in a deficit, doing a keto deficit, so slimming down gradually, and then about 8 weeks before the show started, I got on a real competition prep diet. So that was carb cycling, and that was a deficit also, but it wasn't keto, so it was lower fat, still getting a good amount of carbs, and look out for my diet video too, where I go more into depth on that.
What about your cardio regimen? Did you do anything that was out of the ordinary? Did you go any morning, afternoon?
I stuck strictly to fasted cardio, so I found that did work best for me, especially as as we got closer to the show time, because when you're that depleted and exhausted, you need the time to recover. So I was doing 30 minutes of fasted cardio for about the first 4 weeks. About 8 weeks. So if we count 8 weeks out of the show, the first 4 weeks or so I was doing about 30 minutes. This is on a just steady state incline of about 12 incline, 3.5 speed, and then move that up to 45 minutes, the last bit. But most of the year I was doing my fasted cardio outside, and that's what I prefer. So just walking in my neighborhood on the hills and things, but steady state walk of about 30 to 40 minutes generally.
Hey Malcolm, how was it on you psychologically, as opposed to not just physically? Was it challenging psychologically?
Definitely. I'd say so I'll just focus specifically on the last few weeks. That's when I didn't even know about what to expect. So I don't really have any friends that have competed, and I guess I have one or two friends that compete, but we didn't really talk about this specifically. But the last few weeks are very difficult, because you're really slimming down. You have a very low amount of carbs, and you're always doing cardio, and you get irritable. I'd say you get kind of irritable, and you feel kind of drained. And one of my friends described it as prep brain. So I guess your brain is just, you don't think as clearly, and it's hard to juggle a lot of tasks. So for those of you who will be competing, just keep that in mind. That does specifically get tough. So just what I did, I just kind of stayed patient, but it did affect me. I'd always have to take notes all the time, and just anything would go in and go out. So my notes went way up, and I was just slower and less efficient, but you push through, and I think the future ones will be easier, but that was probably the most difficult part. And then I'd say the last part was being on a more strict diet. So as far as it's a lot of meal prep, and just being that strict. So the way that I went about my diet, which I'll get into detail more in that video, but it was a strict diet of food, certain meals. So that particularly can make it hard, because you have to kind of make your food and take it with you. You can't substitute.